All right, we are back here on the Iona Athletics podcast. Joining us in the studio today, a former Iona water polo player and a person who works in the Iona Athletics department now, Marisa Gaynor. Marisa, welcome to the studio today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing very good. I want to thank you for coming down here. And as I mentioned, you are a decorated water polo player here. So what are some of your favorite memories from playing water polo here at Iona?
Definitely winning MAC champs. Going to NCAAs from those experiences. Those are obviously at the top. But just coming in freshman year, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was coming into a really strong team and really strong teammates, especially our senior class who kind of set the level for the next 4 years with the standards they expected. So that's definitely at the top as well for those memories.
Yeah, definitely great memories. I mean, you went to the NCAA tournament a couple of times. You were the MAC tournament MVP. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, it was very, very nice.
Yeah, so after you graduated, obviously went off, did some things. What inspired you to come back and work at Iona?
So I actually interned for Coach Kelly Shaver, not Brian Kelly. I interned for him in 2016, and then I did a graduate assistant with strength and conditioning at Wagner for 2 years. And once that was up, I was in contact with Coach Kelly again. He had a position open up, and so that's kind of what brought me back around Iona Athletics.
So what do you do with athletics right now?
I work as a strength and conditioning coach. So I work with both of our water polo teams, our men's swim team, volleyball. I've worked with soccer, men's basketball, women's basketball, pretty much touched on most of our teams, yeah. Yeah,
so it must be a fun experience to be able to like work with all these different athletes. Suppose like before you kind of like narrowed in like I'm in water polo now. You get to sort of see a little bit of how everybody does things.
Definitely been really fun to see the range of athletes and different sports and what they're capable of over different ones. I really enjoy my job, and I'm thankful I get to do what I do every day.
Yeah, do you get to do any like little extra with water polo if you feel like because like you have that expertise, like you've done it, if you help Coach Kelly out a little bit with that in front?
You could say that. I think it just goes back to the kind of athletes you have, and you have to assess, the team that's coming in versus more so sports specificity at that point. But yeah, I mean, it's water polo, and I help out the girls, so I know them maybe a little better than other athletes, but I wouldn't say it's any different really in the weight room.
Yeah, that makes sense. And obviously, talked about Coach Kelly, but he made some history last week. So what was it like playing for him?
I mean, I don't really have another experience to compare it with. So, I mean, it was what it was, It was tough, but we obviously needed that, and that was the standard we had set for ourselves, was that from my freshman year on, we didn't want to lose after that, and we went on to win 2 more, so 3 MAC championships total, It's not like, I mean, playing for him was fun. It was cool. We had a lot of good memories together. We have good experiences under our belt, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have another,
frame of reference
experience, to even compare it to, so it was what it was as the experience.
Yeah, obviously we're talking to you, I think, the weekend after the Courtney Fisher invite up in Poughkeepsie, where the water polo team won both games, and Coach Kelly became the winningest coach in school history, picked up his 379th career win. How does it feel knowing that, like, of all the great coaches we've had here across all sports, that he's the guy who has the most success here?
I mean, I think that's a really nice accomplishment for him, but I don't know if it has to, if other...
It's nothing against other coaches.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a very cool accomplishment, and I think that's great for him. But I think, you have to get back to the grind, and it's a kind of like a check on the board. It's cool, it's fun. Now we got to get back to the grind, and we got to keep working.
Yeah, based on I talked to Coach Kelly earlier this year for the athletics podcast. I got a sense of for him, it's like, this is cool, but you know what? We have a game in a couple of weeks. I got to get ready for that. I'm not worried about, I made history.
Yeah. I think that's definitely his attitude towards it, is that he's really proud, and it's a really great thing for him. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, 400's cool too.
Yeah, it's
so yeah, he's still climbing up there and climbing that ladder.
He's like, I want to win another MAC championship.
Exactly.
This is nice, but I can do more.
100% agree with that.
Do you have any good stories playing for Coach Kelly?
Oh, probably too many for our time right now.
How about one?
Honestly, putting me on the spot. I graduated 6 years ago, so I'd really have to dig into those archives. But, I mean, just in general, it was fun playing for him. He likes to joke around a lot, and then, there's that flip of the switch, and it's serious, and it's game time. So I think every coach has that, and you kind of find a friend in them in the end. So I think that's really the gist of – I've known him for about 10 years now. So there's a lot of stories.
Yeah. I'm sure there are, because our podcast executive producer, SID John Stanko, has said that like he's basically an institution here. He's been here so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. You could say that. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So obviously now you've worked with a lot of teams. So is it weird having that deja vu when you get to like work with the water polo team, work with him again? It's like, oh yeah, I played for you. Now I'm working with you alongside you at times.
I think it was more weird, or not even weird, but a little, I had to take a step back, like closer to once I graduated, because it was still pretty close to home. But now I'm pretty separated from like that coach-player mentality. And I think I've done a good job of deciphering or like setting the standard and boundaries for myself in that sense of, okay, you're a coach now, you're no longer playing. So it's more teaching and it's more wanting them to learn versus, my own personal gain or anything like that. But I think, there's still a lot of work to do. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This has been a fun conversation. My last one is obviously water polo season just started. I mean, you're not there day to day on this, but based on what you've seen, like behind the scenes, knowing what's going on with them, like how do you feel what the team's going to do this year?
I mean, I think the ball's in their court or, in the pool. But whatever they want to come out of this season will come out of this season. They're going to have to work, and after seeing the games this weekend and their competition, the competition is fierce, and it always is. You have Wagner who's trying to get their 7th MAC championship, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
They took away my senior year. They won my senior year, right? So we had won 3, and then we lost that 4th one, which that's the worst feeling in the world. But, I don't ever want those girls to feel that. So if they do win and they do come out of that, I want that for them, and I want them to feel that exciting feeling of having that for them. But I think it's ultimately up to them, and it's the work they want to put in right now that's going to pay off come April. So they got to get after it.
They do have to get after it. We'll keep an eye on them throughout the season. Marisa, thank you for taking the time to come into the studio. They do our athletics podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.